ever notice how loud the world has become? Everyone's talking, shouting, proving something, but no one's listening. The world's noise is deafening, but the real noise, the one that breaks you from the inside, doesn't come from out there. It comes from within. That constant voice in your head that never stops, telling you you're not enough, that you're late, that you're losing. It doesn't need a microphone because it already owns you. You wake up every morning surrounded by the same chaos. People running, chasing, posting, pretending. And for a moment, you stop and wonder if they even know why they're doing it. Then that little voice inside whispers, keep moving. Don't think. Don't feel. Because the second you slow down, you'll hear the truth you've been avoiding. The silence, the one that scares you, the one that shows you who you really are. Most people can't handle that. They keep the noise alive because it distracts them from themselves. They blast music, drown in conversations, and fill every second with something, anything, just so they never have to hear their own thoughts. But the moment the room gets quiet, the demons wake up. They start asking questions you don't want to answer. Why are you still stuck here? Why do you care what they think? When did you stop believing in yourself? That's why people fear silence, because it tells the truth they've buried for too long. You see, silence is not empty. It's full of everything you've tried to escape, your guilt, your regrets, your dreams. It's all there waiting. And the more you run from it, the louder it gets. But when you stop, when you finally let the noise fade, you'll realize something. That voice inside, the one that's been screaming at you all this time, wasn't your enemy. It was your conscience, your truth, the part of you that still believes you can be more. So stop running from the silence. Let it corner you. Let it strip away everything fake. Because only when the world goes quiet will you finally hear what you were meant to become. The world loves the sound of its own voice. Everyone wants to be heard, to be seen, to be right. They talk about success like they invented it. They talk about failure like it only happens to others. And somewhere in all that noise, you forget what your own voice sounds like. People will always have something to say about you. Too quiet, too bold, too strange, too different. They'll twist your silence into weakness because they don't understand it. They think if you're not shouting, you're losing. But they don't know that silence is strategy. You start to realize something when you stop reacting. The world begins to reveal itself. You see who's real, who's pretending, who's scared. You see how desperate everyone is to fill the air because they can't stand stillness. But you've learned to sit in it, to listen, to observe. You let them talk while you watch the truth unfold. Every insult, every rumor, every word they throw your way is just another confession of their own insecurity. They speak because they have to. You stay silent because you choose to. And that's what scares them. Your silence becomes unpredictable. They can't read it. They can't control it. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop justifying your every move, they start to panic. Because now they have nothing left to use against you. They'll try harder to provoke you, to drag you back into the noise. They'll question your motives, your strength, even your sanity. But that's how you know you're getting closer. Silence shakes the weak because it exposes what they hide behind their words. You don't need to defend yourself anymore. You don't owe them your energy. Every time you stay quiet in the face of chaos, you win. Every time you choose stillness instead of reaction, you gain power they can't touch. People talk to be heard, but you stay silent to be understood. And when the time comes, when you finally decide to speak, your words will carry the weight of everything they missed in their noise. Because silence doesn't mean you have nothing to say. It means you're just waiting for the right moment to say it. Silence sounds peaceful until you actually live in it. Then you realize it's not calm at all. It's chaos without sound. When you first pull away from the noise, you think you've escaped it, the drama, the opinions, the fake smiles. But the truth is, the storm doesn't end when you go quiet. It begins. Suddenly, you feel everything you've been ignoring. The doubts, the fears, the memories you buried, they all come rushing back. It's like standing in the middle of a battlefield where the only weapon you have is your patience. People will notice your silence. They'll sense your distance, and they won't like it. They'll start testing you, poking you, trying to get a reaction. Because they can't handle what they can't predict. They'll ask what's wrong, act like they care, then twist your quiet into arrogance. They'll do anything to drag you back into their noise, because your stillness reminds them of their own weakness. They can't stand seeing someone who doesn't need to prove anything anymore. And this is where most people break. They think silence means peace, but it's really pressure. The kind that builds until you either explode or evolve. You'll feel the urge to fight back, to scream to remind them who you are. But that's the trap. That's what they want, to see you lose control. Don't give them that satisfaction. The storm inside you isn't there to destroy you. It's there to rebuild you. Every second you hold your ground, every moment you resist the urge to react, you grow stronger. You'll start noticing that silence isn't emptiness, it's focus. It sharpens your instincts. It teaches you when to move, when to speak, when to strike. You stop wasting energy on noise that doesn't deserve your attention. The chaos outside keeps spinning, but you stand still, calm, unreadable. And that's when the shift happens. The moment you realize you no longer need to prove your power. You've become it. Because silence doesn't mean the storm is over. It means you've learned how to stand in the middle of it and not flinch. Then comes the moment you've been waiting for. The calm after everything you've endured. You've sat through the noise, the chaos, the loneliness of your own silence. You've watched people talk, betray, pretend. You've stayed quiet long enough to see what others couldn't. And now the silence that once felt heavy doesn't scare you anymore. It feels powerful, controlled. You don't speak to be heard, you speak to be understood. Every word now carries weight because it's backed by patience, pain, and precision. The world starts to notice. They can't explain it, but they feel it. Something different about you. You don't react the way you used to. You don't chase validation, don't beg to be seen. You simply are. The same people who once called you weak for being silent now hesitate to speak in your presence. They sense that something has changed. It's not arrogance, it's authority. The kind that doesn't need noise to be respected. The kind that doesn't demand attention, it commands it. And that's when you realize the truth. Silence isn't the absence of power, it's its purest form. Because silence doesn't need to prove itself, it just waits. You've learned that the most dangerous person in the room isn't the one shouting. It's the one watching, calculating, waiting for the right moment. You've become that person. You've turned silence into strategy, patience into precision, and restraint into strength. You've learned that your calm can shake the ground more than any scream ever could. You move differently now. Every step, every decision, every word is deliberate. You no longer speak to defend yourself, you speak to declare. You don't act to impress, you act to impact. And when you finally decide to make your move, it doesn't come with noise, it comes with certainty. The kind that silences everyone else. So let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them fill the air with noise. Because while they're busy making sounds, you're making moves. And when your silence finally speaks, it won't need an introduction, it will demand attention.